Here's your wrestling news for April 26, 2022, and your headlines for today include WWE's Randy Orton celebration puts him in prime position to face Roman Reigns, WWE forgets their own booking from just a few weeks ago with latest Raw, WrestleMania 38 rematch announced for WrestleMania Backlash, what did WWE originally have planned for Lacey Evans before her hiatus, two major returns take place on this week's Monday Night Raw, Britt Baker calls out fan for telling wrestler to get better hobbies, update on Tammy Sytch's legal case after causing 3-vehicle crash that killed one person, former NXT champion becomes latest superstar to receive a name change during last night's episode of Raw, Edge confirms the name of his new stable with Damian Priest, and more. We are kicking off today with Monday Night Raw, which took place exactly 20 years after Randy Orton made his on-screen WWE debut. 20 years after defeating Hardcore Holly on SmackDown, Orton was the central figure of this week's Raw, with the show starting off with a tribute to him and saw many superstars get involved. The Cody Rhodes-Randy Orton reunion was incredibly wholesome, especially given how impossible this would have seemed just a few months ago, and the work with Ezekiel was great, especially as no one other than Kevin Owens wants to admit he's Elias. This all culminated in an 8-man tag team match where Orton, Riddle, Rhodes, and Ezekiel got the win over the Usos, Owens, and Seth Rollins. The implications of this win are immense, as WWE didn't just give the Viper a win on his 20th anniversary, but are reminding fans that he is a threat to anyone, including Roman Reigns. Whether RK Bro wins or loses at WrestleMania Backlash, expect Orton to enter a program with the undisputed WWE Universal Champion soon, as he's one of the very few legitimate challengers left for the Tribal Chief. Whether he'll be the one to take the titles off of Reigns is hard to say, but for now, Orton's 20-year career as a WWE superstar is showing no signs of slowing down. Raw also saw Bianca Belair retain her Raw Women's Championship this week, but had to go over a few hurdles to retain the gold. Facing Sonya Deville, the WWE Authority figure first had the match restarted after she got counted out, and made the rematch a no DQ, no countout affair. This prompted Queen Zelina and Carmella to return to attack Belair, as WWE has glossed over their own history, given that the former tag champions broke up just a few weeks ago. Despite their abrupt reunion, Belair was able to overcome the 3-on-1 disadvantage and retained against Deville for the second time of the night. This was yet another impressive night for the Raw Women's Champion, but demonstrates a severe lack of credible challengers for the EST. Much like the Roman Reigns situation, there is seemingly no one who can take Belair down at this time, and while this isn't an issue WWE needs to address now, it is something they'll have to think about. With WrestleMania Backlash just days away, Belair has no challenger for the show, and unless someone comes forward quickly, it appears the EST will have to skip next month's premium live event. Belair may be missing from the card for WrestleMania Backlash, but another rematch from WrestleMania 38 has been added to the show. During this week's episode of Raw Talk, it was confirmed that Bobby Lashley will once again take on Omos after the former WWE champion toppled the Giant earlier this month in Dallas, Texas. The big difference this time is that unlike WrestleMania, Omos will now have MVP by his side, and time will tell if the Colossal Superstar can avenge his WrestleMania loss on May 8th. Now this month, Lacey Evans returned to WWE TV, but her character is far different than what fans had seen. In a pre-taped video vignette, Evans ditched her sassy Southern Belle gimmick in favor of a new babyface role, which will reflect on her real-life experiences as a veteran and a mother. Fans have been taken aback by the dramatic change, but this was always the plan. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that the plan was always for Evans to transition into a babyface role, even before she went on hiatus due to her pregnancy. Meltzer also questioned why it had taken WWE so long to make Evans a face, as her real-life experiences make her a natural good guy. It was also pointed out that Lacey Evans' natural heel enemy would be Charlotte Flair, who Evans was feuding with before her hiatus and is now working on SmackDown as a heel. It's been over 2 years now since Evans wrestled in front of a live crowd, and while her turn this month may have come out of nowhere, this was always the plan. More from Raw next, as after months of speculation and nearly a year away, Asuka made her return to WWE TV. After being out of action since July 2021, Asuka returned to Raw, interrupting Becky Lynch, who was also making her first appearance since losing the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 38. Big Time Bex was at a loss for words upon seeing Asuka return, and the Empress of Tomorrow confirmed the rumors that she will have a short feud with Lynch. Saying that nobody is ready for Asuka, the former SmackDown Women's Champion made an impression on her first night back and earned herself one of the biggest pops of the night from the crowd. It was in January that reports first started circulating of Asuka's return, as at the time it was said that she would be part of the Women's Royal Rumble match, but that, of course, didn't happen. From what happened on last night's show, it appears that Asuka will emerge victorious in her feud with Lynch, and after nearly a year away, that's exactly what's needed for the Japanese superstar. Asuka wasn't the only name to return last night, as Mustafa Ali also returned to WWE TV for the first time since last October. Returning to interrupt an episode of Miz TV, Ali laid the challenge out to United States champion Theory, who was the Miz's guest during the segment. After a back and forth, the segment culminated in a match between Ali and The Miz, who told him, quote, "After this match, I'm going to make you wish you got your walking papers." This is in reference to Ali requesting his release from WWE in January, a request that was denied by the company, which led to a heated argument backstage between the former Retribution leader and Vince McMahon himself. Now Ali's request release is officially part of his story on TV, though we doubt they'll ever say directly on TV that he has to be let go by the company. In all likelihood, this is setting up a US title feud between Ali and Theory, but with Ali only just returning and Theory being pushed strong, it's hard to say which will emerge the victor. Now, when you're a wrestler traveling across the world, it can be difficult to find time to unwind, especially when you factor in their time training and rehearsing for shows. For many wrestlers, they find their escape with video games, which are used by billions of people across the world, but that isn't good enough for one fan. When the fan took to Twitter to complain about wrestlers enjoying games and comics, telling them to find better hobbies, AEW's Britt Baker fired back, calling it a brutal take. Given the stigma that still revolves around watching wrestling, one might assume that the fan who has a baseball card as his profile picture would be a tad more understanding, as nobody, not even wrestlers, should be ashamed of what they enjoy. Earlier this year, WWE Hall of Famer Tammy Sytch was involved in a 3-vehicle collision that left one person dead. This crash happened when the former Diva's vehicle collided with a car that had stopped at a red light, which was then plowed into the car in front. All reports so far have pointed the finger of blame at Sytch, as her car was the only one in motion, but as far as she's concerned, this crash wasn't her fault. Responding to a fan on Twitter, the former Sunny said she was going about 10 miles per hour at the time and blamed the man's death of natural causes, saying he suffered a heart attack. It appears Sytch believes that a vehicle crashing into the victim's car played no factor in his death, and went on to say that at the time of the crash, she was suffering from a seizure. Sytch will have her day in court, but right now, investigators are gathering more evidence, and as far as Sunny's concerned, nothing about this tragic incident is her fault. More from Raw now, as this week saw yet another WWE superstar get their name changed. During the broadcast, former NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa was solely referred to by the announcers as Ciampa, and according to Kevin Raphael of TVA Sports Quebec, this will be his name from here on. This is part of WWE's new policy to ditch any part of a wrestler's real name, and in this case, Ciampa's real first name is Tommaso. WWE's reasoning is that they don't want to use a name that could be used outside the company, as if Ciampa leaves, he could still use the Tommaso name on the independent scene. While Ciampa has made a name for himself in NXT, becoming a 2-time NXT champion on the brand, he'll now need to prove himself on the main roster, and do so with a shorter name than what he's used to. And we're ending today with Edge, whose alliance with Damian Priest got taken to another level on this week's Raw. During last night's broadcast, Edge cut an ominous promo in which he referred to himself and the Archer of Infamy as Judgment Day. This name was confirmed when Priest was announced as representing Judgment Day during his entrance, confirming that this will be their new name from now on. Older fans will remember that WWE had a Judgment Day pay-per-view that ran from 1998 to 2009, and ironically, it was Edge who won the very last match at the last Judgment Day show, defeating Jeff Hardy. As for the reports that Ciampa and Rhea Ripley could soon be joining, there's still no confirmation by WWE, but whatever the case, Judgment Day is now here on Monday Night Raw. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.